Hello hemline lovers, welcome to my channel. In a few minutes I'll be showing you how to make a short. Okay, so the measurement you need here is your waist, your hip, your crotch and your full length. Okay, so for the waist, remember we're going to put a band. All right, we're going to use a band at the top of your waist. All right, so because of that, we're going to deduct the 2 inches band which we're going to use, place the tape right there, and that is where our waist is going to start from. All right, so we take the measurement, the vertical measurement, all right, your waist, your hip, your crotch. This is how you take your crotch. You place the tape just right like this from the top of your waist down to the surface of the chair. That is how you determine the length of your crotch. Okay, and after that you take your full length and then the allowance. All right, after that we're going to outline this point. Okay, we draw a straight line for direction just like I'm doing so. Okay, and then we go ahead and label them. All right, so that is the crotch and this is the full length. Okay, so after that, at the waist we're going to go ahead and come in by 1 inch. All right, just to give it a little bit shape, and then we slant it into the hip just like this. All right, and then at the base we're going to go ahead and equally take 1 inch just like this, and then from the hip we slant it in just like this. Okay, this is just to give it a beautiful shape. All right, but if you're actually making a bogus or like a wider short, this is not actually really needed. But if you're making it like a bit tight on your body, so you actually do need this. All right, so after cutting that out, we're going to go ahead and impute our body measurement. All right, so we go to our waist, we measure our circumference, and then we divide it by 4, and then we put the measurement right there. And then on the hip, divide your hip circumference by 4 and mark the measurement. On the crotch, how you get your crotch is the crotch extension. All right, you take the round circumference of your one lap at the toppest, the biggest part of your lap, you divide it by 2, or you measure your hip, you divide your hip by 2, and then you divide what you have by divide it by 4 and divide it by 4 again. Then at that place where you mark your hip, you extend it, assuming you had 40 on your hip, you divide it by 4, that is 10. You go ahead and still divide the 10, that is going to be 2.5. So if your circumference of your hip was 10, you extend 2.5 from your 10. That is your crotch extension. I don't know if that is understood. All right, so we mark all of that, we cut that out, and this is what we have. We're going to place it at the back to determine the back measurement. So at this part right here, we're going to go ahead and extend that by 1 inch. All right, just like I'm doing so, and you take that down. All right, 1 inch from the top down to the base just like this, and then you take the straight line, you just join the dots together, and at the top you're going to go ahead and take 1.5 inch. All right, and then you slant it just like this into the waist, just like I'm going to do so right now. All right, so after slanting it in just like this, the next thing we're going to be doing is at the crotch area, we're going to go ahead and extend it by 2 inches. All right, and then we take that straight down. Okay, from the top, as we're going down, we reduce it a little bit, that is 1.5 inch. All right, then at the top of the crotch, we equally extend it by 2 inches. Okay, and we do so to the topmost top of the waist. just like I'm doing so. Okay, and then we go ahead and connect the point just like this. All right, so that is basically what it is for this trouser. Okay, so after connecting it like this, like I'm doing so right now, we're just going to go ahead, cut this out, and that is just it for this shot. Guys, if you've watched us up to this extent and you've not subscribed to our channel, why? Please like, share, comment, most importantly subscribe. That is what we are asking for at this point of our growth. Please subscribe to our small channel, help us grow. Thank you. So after that, we're going to go ahead and cut the pocket placement on the front. We go in by 2.5 inches. All right, and then we go ahead and mark 7.5, but you can use 6.5 or 6 inches or even 7. All right, depending on how wide your hand is. Okay, so we connect it just like this, a little bit slanty, just like this. Okay, so that is our pocket. All right, so we went ahead and we cut it out just like this, and we're going to cut our pocket. So the measurement I used here was 10 by 10 inches. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you're going to cut it. All right, at the back, you're just going to go ahead, place it just like this. All right, back side facing back side, and then you slant it properly just like this, so that when you cut it out, it's the front side that is going to be showing on your main fabric. Okay, so this is what we went ahead and we did, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side of the pocket. Okay, next we're going to take these pieces to the machine, the front and the back, and run a straight stitch from the beginning like this to the end, from the top there at the back, and just like this. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bring it for you to see. Okay, so I went ahead and I run a stitch and I held my dart. All right, and this is what it is looking like. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and join the pocket. Okay, so for the pocket, this is what you're going to do. You're going to place it like this, just like I'm placing it. All right, and you flip it over to the back. All right, that is front side first facing the front side, and then you run a straight stitch just like this. All right, you held it together like this, and then you run a stitch just like this. I'm going to do that and show you, but after running a stitch, you're still going to go ahead and run a stop stitch at the top. Let me do it and bring it for you to see. All right, so I went ahead and I run a stitch. Okay, just like this. All right, you're going to go ahead and run a stitch on top of it just like this. All right, so this is what we had. All right, after turning it, this is what it's going to look like. All right, let me pin it together so that you're going to see what it looks like. All right, so what we did here is the same thing we're going to do to the other side. All right, so this is what our pocket is going to look like. All right, you're going to run a stitch down there as well, and then up here as well, you're going to pin it down by running a stitch. All right, and then you go ahead and do the same thing to this other side. All right, I will do that shortly, and I'm going to bring it for you to see. So this is what it looks like for our pocket. All right, look at it sitting pretty right there, and I just put my hand just to show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so yeah, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to place our back pattern on top of it just like this. All right, and we're going to sew the side. All right, you determine where you want to put your zip. Is it on the right or on the left side? All right, you run a stitch down on the other side from the beginning till the end, and also at the crotch area you run a straight stitch down. Okay, just like this. So after sewing it up, this is what it looks like. Okay, we join everything just like I said earlier. This is what it looks like. Okay, so for the band, we're going to go ahead and measure the circumference of the waist that we have there and then we're going to go ahead and cut 5 inches of that same length. All right, put a facing, all right, a warden to give it a little bit of thickness, all right, and bend half inch in, bend half inch in, which you'll be left with 4 inches. When you fold it, it's going to be the 2 inches that we actually kept for our band. Okay, so we're going to use the first half inch that we kept and join it with a straight stitch down. After that, you flip it to give it a neat finishing with the other 2 inches that you bend over, and it is going to come out very neat. Okay, so after putting your band, you're going to go ahead and put your zip, all right, and that is going to be basically it for this short. All right, that is how easy it is for you to make a short. All right, so if you follow this step by step, trust me, you will have your short very beautiful. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please subscribe. At this point, we really need your subscription. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, most importantly, and I love you all.